Hey now, welcome to DDO Players News, where we talk about the latest news in the world of Dungeons & Dragons Online on the tabletop, with tabletop RPGs, tabletop games, and other geek things. I am your host for this episode, Drac. No Pine Leaf tonight. I had another one of my weird scheduling things this week. My week went crazy really quick, so I wasn't sure when I was going to be able to record this. So I brought in the A-Team. I've got two of the best to help me record this episode tonight. I have with me Rent Tupone.
Good evening, good evening.
Thanks for coming back on. Been a while since you've been on. And the one, the only, I have talked about him many times on the show. He's been on, I think, once maybe. We have Tyrannos.
Oh, howdy ho there, neighbors.
How's it going, Tay?
Hey.
See, I think we should officially call ourselves the dudes of DDO.
I like it.
We're only three people. We can't be the A-Team.
I like it. The dudes of DDO. Mm-hmm. Who needs those damsels anyway, right?
Exactly right.
Oh, I'm going to hear about that one. Let's jump into the game news, because we do have a little bit of game news. Our little DDO is 14 years old.
Just a baby the other day. Just now hitting puberty hard.
Crazy. It's crazy to think about. DDO is actually 14 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
aren't you like 15?
Yeah, okay, get this.
Oh, God. Here we go.
When DDO came out, I was 14 years old. That is the year that I started playing.
Oh my God, I'm old.
Well,
therefore,
you're a quick math, 28 years old?
Yes. Therefore,
ergo,
I have been playing DDO for half my life.
Oh my Lord.
Math is hard.
Oh my God, I'm old. You just made me feel super old right there.
It's more than a feeling.
Right?
Drac, right? Because you started right when the box came out, right? And you jumped in and played for a bit and then jumped out?
Yes, yeah. Gonna say, I was here for a little bit right when the retail box, so probably 3 months after it started.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played about a half a year, and then I stopped because everybody I was playing with at the time stopped. And then about the time I jumped back in is right when free-to-play started. Mm-hmm. I started right before free-to-play again, and haven't stopped playing since. So you
could have run into prepubescent Tay.
I could have.
You may very well have.
Oh,
before he got his deep, manly voice.
Wow. And how long have you been playing, Rent? You've been playing pretty much the whole time, right?
Yeah, since the box came out. I remember running out to Best Buy and grabbing the box off the shelf back when software came in boxes.
That's right. See, kids, we used to have to go to the store to buy video games.
Yep. The access code on the back of the instruction pamphlet and everything. Oh, yeah, back in those days. And I kind of never thought I would ever play an MMO because what was out during that time? EverQuest.
WoW was the big thing.
Yeah,
man.
WoW was the
World of Warcraft.
Gorilla.
But I played EverQuest,
mm-hmm.
Ultima Online. That too. That was
Ultima Online. Yeah. So, but I never thought I'd play an MMO. But when they announced that Dungeons and Dragons, being my heart, had to play. So
so DDO was my intro to Dungeons and Dragons because back in the early 2000s, nobody played D&D. At least nobody my age.
Right.
So I've kind of learned to play D&D the reverse direction.
Oh, that's true. Right.
And I appreciate pen and paper so much more, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that has happened quite a bit too with other people having never played pen and paper and then just going into the online and then going to pen and paper. So it's pretty cool that happens. But since this is the 14th anniversary, we of course do have a 14th anniversary gift. You can log into the game and use the coupon code HAPPY14, HAPPY, then the number 1 and the number 4. So HAPPY14. And that is going to get you a sentient Jewel of the Dragon.
Woohoo!
Caveat with this, though. Choose wisely where you do this. This code can only be redeemed once per account.
Mm-hmm.
Let me repeat that. Once per account. So make
sure
you're on the server you want to do it on.
Drac, does that mean I can have one on every server?
No, it does not.
What does that mean?
That means one per server, one per your account. So you get one shot to use it. Don't screw it up. It is bound to your account. The coupon code can be redeemed through December 31st. So you have a little while to use it. It gives you, once again, a sentient jewel of the dragon. I have not actually heard this yet. I did see on the forums it is voiced by Cindy Robinson. She's the one that does Militia. She does the Kobolds. She does a lot of DM work. You can go back. I'll post it in the show notes. I'll have to find it. I can link to it. We did an interview with her way back in the day, like pretty much as soon as the site started, actually. We actually got an interview with her. So she is a voice actress. She's been in lots of games. You know her, as I said. She's Militia. She's the Kobold. I'm sure once you hear her, you'll know who she is. But Sentient Jewel of the Dragon. So you pretty much have a dragon talking to you in your sentient weapon.
Love it.
You'd think, they'd get the voice actor for Vela. I don't know who that was, but
I do believe
that was my immediate assumption.
Think that was Cindy Robinson that did Bela as well too.
Oh, was she? Okay.
With a lot of like
around for that
post effect and stuff. Yeah, I do believe so. Don't quote me on that, but I think so.
I could see that. I could possibly see that. I mean, I know there's a lot of things they can do with voice with audio these days. So who knows?
And they did say too, there is a temporary bug right now, so you might want to be careful. The bug is that this jewel can be accidentally sold to a vendor.
Ooh, scary! Oh crap!
Most sentient jewels
Raggy.
you can't sell to vendors, but this one you can. They are going to fix that. They're aware of it. That will be fixed in a future game update, which will be soon. They said. So just be very, very careful. If you don't slot it into a weapon right away, maybe put it in your bank or something like that. Just don't sell it to a vendor.
Or just lock it.
Art?
Just lock it in your inventory.
Yeah, that's true. You could do that too. As well as all sentient gems, the item is level 20 and can be acquired to a character of any level. But the min level to use it is actually 20. So pretty cool. So happy 14th, DDO. And here's to 14 more, right?
Happy birthday to you.
And on that note.
And on that note.
No, did you want to say something else about that or about 14th anniversary or anything?
Oh no, the anniversary event is happening, right?
Oh yeah, it is. Yep. The anniversary dungeon, which you can also run to get the sentient jewel of the Kobold if you would like it.
I like that voice.
It's really annoying, but an endearing kind of way. I feel like is a Frabadoo.
I would think the Kobold gem would get a little annoying, probably. Yeah. That would probably grind on me just a little bit having a Kobold all the time.
But this is coming from a guy who played the the daily challenge, the Kobold challenges, like relentlessly. So I hear that voice in my sleep.
There's that.
All right, release notes, sir.
Yeah, we do have update 45.2. It was released Wednesday, February the 26th. So just yesterday. They did some more work on the combat changes that they did. Cleave, Great Cleave, Supreme Cleave, Whirlwind Attack, Knight of the Chalice, Cleave enhancements. Smite Evil, Exalted Smite, and Vile Chemist Poison Shot is now going to use your entire attack speed when calculating their attack speed. So that's good. They added a small delay between equipping a weapon and receiving the effects of the two-handed fighting feat and some favored weapon bonuses to alleviate performance issues around when you swap your weapons. The hit detection on all 4 non-mobile greatsword two-handed fighting animations are now significantly wider. Hit detection for the second and third non-mobile great axe two-handed fighting animations, again, same thing, are significantly wider now. The wild shape bear attack animations, their hit detection also wider as well. And the quarterstaff attack, wider animations as well for the hit detection. So they're working on fixing some of those hit detection. I know I did see on the forums there's a lot of people were talking about there was a lot of bugs with that. So hopefully they're getting that squared away. Maybe this wider hit detection will now work.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have that sort of extra bump. If you're going to use a two-handed weapon, you might as well get just the chance of extra hits with.
Oh yeah,
so good stuff.
No doubt. Also, the Knight of the Chalice lead the charge can now be targeted on breakables. Fixed a bug with the aimed shot, not adding multiple stacks of Archer's Focus in the Deepwood Stalker tree. So that is now fixed. In the Epic Destiny tree, Sharadi Champions Stand and Deliver will now work correctly, even when toggling range stances on and off. Some feats got some work. We won't go over all of this. You can click over in the show notes and see the full release notes. Well, let's take a look and see what else is interesting here. Activating charge abilities and attacks when you're on your mount will now remove you from your mount. Then Eritrakos, of course, has now replaced Mortality in the Forgotten Realms Hall of Heroes. That is due to Eritrakos is now the hardcore server vendor, which we talked about previously on the hardcore server. So instead of talking to Mortality, you talked to Eritrakos. I guess for some reason, Mortality was still in the Forgotten Realms side in the Hall of Heroes. Now it is our good buddy Eritrakos.
Good old Harry.
Good old Harry. And this is something that I didn't even realize was a thing, but I did see this on the forums that some people had this claim ticket in there for a bonus item in their inventory, and the NPC was gone. Shifane Drop Axe has returned to her usual place outside the Leaky Dinghy. That is, of course, in the harbor. This is an NPC that will redeem an old PAX East reward from back in 2011.
What?
Which some players still
I think I need to log
had.
on right now.
So I don't know what you get with this because, like I said, I wasn't around then.
I don't even remember that.
I don't either. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I vaguely remember like a PAX thing, but
Oh my god.
But
wow.
I did see on
I'm on it.
as I was looking on the forums to see if there was any dev tracker stuff that we wanted to include. I did see there was a thread that somebody said they had this, and then I think it was Cordovan that popped on and said if you redeemed that, you get that item on every character you make now. So I guess there's like people coming back to the game that are making new characters, and they were getting this item that they couldn't use because the NPC hadn't been there for years. So if you have one of those, there you go. Go get whatever it is. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I wasn't around then, so. It just amazes me that they actually picked something back from 2011 like that because people still had the item in their inventory.
I'm such a pack rat. I still have that stuff on Argo from like years past.
I was going to
still
ask
have
you
things from Maybar from years past, before the server merges.
Oh my god.
The merge wars.
I was going to ask you, Red, if you had one of those because I do know that you do have the little pack rat problem. So.
No, I do. I have a serious problem. Well, I think I traded it in. I'm sure.
But yeah, it just cracked me up, and then I seen in the past notes, I'm like, oh my god, they actually brought that NPC back. That is amazing. Also, some typos have been corrected in several quests. You can check that out. As I said, jump in to their show notes, and you can read the full. The funniest patch note, I think there's always one patch note that always makes me laugh every time. This one is Dragonborn females will no longer fall through their horses while they're drinking a potion.
Take it on that. Tay is a lady dragon.
So yes,
Lady Dragon.
I was going to ask you, Mr. Lady Dragon, if you fell through your horse when you drink a potion.
I don't need no horse. I feel like a dragon riding a horse. I should be eating the horse, not riding it.
True,
So,
that is a little weird to have a dragon riding a horse.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it doesn't fit. Not knocking the horse, just saying, like, hierarchy of things. Eating would be more important than riding.
And so that is a look at update 45.2. As I said, you can go over it in our show notes and jump into the complete release notes. There's a couple more notes in there, but it's pretty much just little small fixes. Let's take a look at our store sales, though. See what's going on there. They do have the anniversary sale. It is continuing this week. It is the Tensor's Weapon Box, plus 20 Hearts of Wood, and plus our 35% off, plus 8 Tomes of Ability. That lasts through March 1st.
Wow, that's tempting. Couple days left.
Plus 8 tomes. Oh my god, I can't even wrap my head around a plus 8 tome.
35% off, too. That is a good deal on plus 8s.
That's ridiculous.
And boosts.
And Boost, the sale this week just started today as we're recording this on Thursday evening, is the Get a Boost sale. You can get 25% off Sovereign XP Elixirs, 20% off Treasure Hunter Elixirs, Greater Slayer Boost, and the long listing Supreme Ability Potions. Dragons. All, as I said, 20% off. That is going to last through March 5th. Weekly coupon code this week gets you a Wand of Charm person. Coupon code is CHARMED also through March 5th as well.
I love it when the coupon code is appropriate.
It is, yes. So it's Charmed.
Or named after 90s television dramas about three sister witches fighting evil.
Which was an amazing, excellent show that I missed.
I loved it.
I don't like the reboot. They just made a reboot of it. It's not as good because they totally changed the story a lot.
That's what I've heard, and they've got like a brother now or something too.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I like to stick with my classic charm. Thank you.
There you go.
Exactly. Give me Melissa Milano any day.
And with that little tangent there, let's jump in and talk about Gen Con. It is fastly approaching.
Scarily fast.
154 days as of this recording on Thursday evening. We are going to cover the show again, as we always do. I did get approved for my press pass. So we're going to be there interviewing all of the game companies, finding about all the RPGs, all the tabletops, all of that. So you can stay tuned for all of our coverage. And once again, this year, I would like to thank our friends over at the Skull Splitter Dice Company. They have graciously agreed to sponsor our Gen Con coverage once again this year. Don't forget, Skull Splitter is actually running a Kickstarter right now. As of this recording, you got 30 days to go. They are running their Skull Splitter Dice 2020 celebration. This is a collection of currently 9 different dice. There is one more that they are waiting to unlock. What they did with these is each level they went up on the Kickstarter, they actually unlocked the dice, so you can jump in and get a set of dice for $15. And you have 9 to choose from. Currently almost at 10. They are currently sitting at 5. Oh, actually, looks like as we were recording this, they just unlocked that last dice because they needed 50,000 to unlock the Afridi's Eye dice set, and that now has unlocked because they are at 50,140. The Kickstarter did fund in 15 minutes, so congratulations to the Skull Splitter guys for getting this. So get over there. I will link the Kickstarter in the show notes. You can go over there and get yourself a great set of dice. Skull Splitter makes cool dice.
Absolutely. Do yourself.
They've got cool names.
Oh,
they do have cool names.
If you haven't looked at their dice, go do yourself a favor. Check out Skull Splitter Dice. They are amazing. And dice are what pen and paper people hoard.
That's right. And that's what I was going to say. You can never have enough dice.
Like, you know what? Dragon's got its pile of gold. DDO players, D&D players, have got their dice.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head how many sets of dice I actually have.
Oh God.
It has to be measured in pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
I've literally got a shoebox. I don't even know how many dice. I got a shoebox full of them.
Oh yeah, I have like a couple boxes that just have random dice in it, but like full sets, I bet I probably have at least 30, 35 maybe.
Yeah, easy.
At least, and that's probably a low estimate maybe. I don't know. I'll have to count them sometimes, but
yeah, I honestly don't think you can really even consider yourself a gamer unless you have like
exactly.
Of dice.
You need cool dice.
That's why. I don't know if you know this. Crown Royal, it's a whiskey company. You get a free bottle of whiskey with their dice bag.
You do. That matter of fact, that was my dice bag for the longest time. I still have that dice bag.
I still have that dice bag.
I think there's probably, I would bet at least 75% of D&D players have a Crown Royal bag that is their dice bag.
Guaranteed. Even if they don't drink Crown Royal.
Exactly.
It's the perfect dice bag.
Yeah. Big, furry, purple. You can't go wrong.
Big, furry, and purple. Okay.
Can't go wrong.
That describes a lot of things, Rent, but anyway. Yeah, so, Gen Con.
Gen Con is around the corner. The thing I'm most excited about, and the thing that I go to Gen Con every other year. So this is an even year, 2020. So this is my year to go, and I usually will do a pen and paper campaign. So, Drac, you were in our pen and paper campaign 2 years ago, yeah?
Amazing. It was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun. This year, we are going to continue, but this year we're going to do an Eberron-themed one-off, so it will be in the same sort of universe as DDO. And this time around, I am envisioning 50% of DDO Players News, which means Udrak, and the Damsels. I'm going to extend an invitation to the Damsels, and maybe we can merge the two podcasts into a D&D pen and paper event.
See, there you go.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, so it should be very exciting. I've already worked out the plot line, the main skeleton of the storyline. I'm building the playground. I'm building the sandbox.
Now, not to give too much away here. You did say that it is Eberron based.
Yes.
Is it going to be DDO themed? Are we going
Stormreach,
to do
maybe?
the stuff in DDO? Like, are you taking DDO and making it into the pen and paper?
No.
Okay.
Stormreach is actually going to be a springboard.
Okay.
So there will be. Well, you will see. But basically, there will be a scientific expedition out of Sharn who is chartering transport and protection for an expedition to the north, and that's where you guys come in.
And
so,
derail your entire plotline, right?
which is fine because I have multiple rails. I have so many rails.
Now,
Call you the conductor.
2 years ago, we didn't derail you, I don't think. At least not bad.
No, because
no.
again, you guys did well. Not that there was a very sort of raily sort of situation, but you guys did what you wanted to do. I mean, I hope it didn't feel railroady at all.
No, not at all.
But that's like I always feel like a good DM has an idea of what they want to do and where things are, and then it's basically you set up the sandbox. You put the sandbox out there with all the parts. And then it's up to the players to play in that sandbox and discover different portions. And, if they don't discover all the portions, that's on them. Or, if they do, you've managed to fit it in, not necessarily sequentially, but, if you have set pieces, try to make it flow. But either way, it's like a choose your own adventure book. I've got all the chapters and branches that are obvious. But like I said, you guys can
it
play
should
around in
be
the sandbox.
amazingly fun, I'm sure, because the one you did 2 years ago was amazing. So can't wait. It's going to be fun.
So much fun. One of the best campaigns, albeit a one-off, which I'm a little disappointed. I wanted to, when you have fun of the campaign, you want to keep going with it. But so much fun, even as a one-off. It was one of the best I've played ever.
And that's the hardest thing to do is try to have a self-contained one-off that you can do in a certain time frame without feeling like I have to hit all these points to get to the end, or without people going, where's the end? Let's run directly there. So either way, looking forward to it. Best 4 days of gaming, Gen Con, for anybody who's never been to Gen Con. Absolutely check it out. If not, by check out the Gen Con website, see what it's about. If you are at all interested in tabletop gaming or the gaming community, do yourself a favor. This is the mecca of tabletop gaming. Every person who is into tabletop gaming should make it a point to make the pilgrimage at least once to check it out. It really is that good.
I can tell you, the first time I went there, I was just dumbstruck for 4 days straight. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have any plans. I was just there, and I just kept looking around and smiling, and I just couldn't.
The first year, is way overwhelming. It very
first
much
year's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
How was your first year, Jack?
It's pretty much like Taze. I got there and I was like, oh my god! It's like I want to go here, I want to go there, I want to see this, I want to do this.
How long have you been going?
This will be my 12th.
Oh wow,
13th, something like that. Yeah, I kind of have the advantage that I live in Indiana, so it's only like a 3-hour drive for me. So
you're the veteran.
So I've been able to go, but as I said, as we talked about last year when we had the Gen Con show last year, Gen Con has changed for me now that I'm going as quote unquote press, so I'm actually kind of working. So it's changed a little bit for me. I still enjoy. I still have fun at Gen Con. I still game. I still do other stuff at Gen Con. But now it's a little different for me because I am actually, talking to game companies. I'm doing interviews.
But some of your interviews are amazing.
Which is honestly, is that even worth it?
Scooping Shard last time around.
Right? Yeah, I get to say, and then I get to do cool stuff like that where I actually get, like breaking news on coverage. And there was a couple. Can't remember what it was. A couple of years ago, I did get to announce a board game as well, but I don't remember what it was now. So yeah, so it's kind of cool. And there is going to be a DDO meetup this year. Right now, it's not official meetup yet. It's just going to be kind of how it's always been, like the Gathering for Bus. Just you show up, you say hi to all your DDO people. And then there's still no set place for it yet. That's being worked out. There's a thread in the forums on that. Jerry / Cordovan was not sure if he was going to attend Gen Con this year, but he's leaning towards it because he found out all of the cool people like us are going to be there. So
hello.
Ladies. So yeah, he's thinking about it just because there's going to be a lot of like the DDO podcasters and people that are in the community going to be there. So I would assume if he does actually go, there might be kind of a official / semi-official party, but if not, there's always going to be one. It's always Friday night. It's usually just like a come as you go thing. We'll talk about it once I see in that thread that there's actually either it's official or there's like a place. And each year it kind of changes from bar to bar. So
yeah, and usually I'll tweet things like hashtag GenCon DDO 2020, and then just follow that hashtag on Twitter, and then you can see what's going on.
Yeah, so we will keep you updated on that. But I know I am lucky enough to where I just stay. A couple of my friends actually get a hotel room, and then I just kind of like stay with them, so I don't have to like deal with like the housing lottery, which I tried this year just to have a fallback in case one of you guys couldn't get something.
And did you get anything good?
I never even got in. It wouldn't even let me in.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was bad. It was bad. I was going to ask how your guys' lottery was this year. Yeah, my time was like later in the afternoon, so I thought, okay, well, there probably won't be anything left, but at least I'll be able to get in. But no, every time I tried to get in, it crashed.
Crazy. So in order to try to avoid, melting the system to a pile of slag, the folks at Gen Con, they set up a lottery where if you have a badge, they assign you a time to log in to enter the housing portal, and they set it up throughout the course of the day. I think the first slots are at noon and the last slots are at midnight, something like that. But you are given a time slot and you cannot log in until that time slot. And if your time slot's after 2 or 3 p.m., you're kind of boned as far as trying to get anything within walking distance.
Yeah, mine was at 4:30 was my time. So
yeah, it was at 3:18. I thought it was at 3:18 p.m. and even I didn't get squat. So
yeah. Well, I was at 2 something. I think I didn't get anything. Or no, you were before me. I was at 4.
Yeah, you were at 4. I think it was one of our other friends, Lid Boy, who got I think it was like a 2:00 slot.
Yeah,
and we had a great room with him. We were able to save. Get a great room. We could all reserve one together with him.
Yep.
So,
and I know we had a texter going, and I think Lessa got a pretty early time for her lottery. I think, if I remember right.
Yeah, so she's close too. So luckily, but anything after 2 or 3, the closest one's within miles, and then you end up having to commute to Gen Con, which is no bueno.
Yeah,
non-starter. I'll sleep in my car. Thanks.
It's not I did that a couple years ago. I did the whole drive-in, and it's not the best. It's way better if you're at least in walking distance. I mean, it's amazing if you're close to where, like, if you buy a bunch of junk, you can just like walk back to your hotel room and drop it off and then go back, or you can just go back to your hotel room and just take a break from everything and then go back. So they really need to work on that lottery system. They've been changing it and updating it. Like I said, this was the first year I actually tried. I usually don't even bother, but I just wanted to make sure that all of you guys, at least had like a backup in case something happened. And I couldn't even get in. So
outstanding.
It was a nightmare. So yeah, Gen Con coming up. Looking forward just hanging out with all you guys again, because it was weird last year that you guys weren't there, because the year before we hung out a lot and we did a lot of stuff. And then last year I was there and I was just like, this is not the same.
Right, that's right. None of the damsels were there. I don't think none of us were there.
No, because you guys are all on the every 2-year plan. So.
Yeah, I'll wait till the kids grow up, then I'll be there every year.
There you go. There you go. Anything else we want to say about Gen Con?
No, I think we're good.
Do we know when the event scheduling is going to be revealed, unlocked?
I will tell you that. You guys can talk amongst yourselves.
May 17th.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, my birthday. Fantastic.
Well, happy birthday to you for being able to register for events. And that's another thing that you really need to, that usually starts at noon, and what you do, how that works, if you're not familiar with how that works, is Usually about a week before that, sometimes 2 weeks, they'll put the events up and you can wish list your events.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you do that, because what you do then is at noon on March 17th, when it goes live, you will process your wish list, and that is what adds those events to you, and you jump in and try to grab those tickets before anybody else does.
It's like the lottery, but much more Twitch skill oriented.
Yeah, it's crazy. And once you hit process your wish list, you'll get a place in line. And like 1 year, I was like 10,080 in line, and I'm like, yeah, I get crap, and I didn't. So it's kind of, and it depends what events you're going for, because certain events will sell out like immediately. Like if you're wanting to do True Dungeon, yeah, good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you're not way high up in the queue, you ain't getting True Dungeon, because that sells out like immediately. There's a lot of other things that sell out. But the nice thing is, keep those in your wish list, though, because you can see if there's any tickets for those, because sometimes people will buy stuff and then maybe, oh, well, my friends decided they didn't want to do that, or I don't really want to do that anymore. So they'll sell that ticket back.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
that helps a lot.
Yeah, that ticket will open back up. So you can kind of keep that in mind. If you have your heart set on some game and you didn't get in because it sold out, you may be able to get back into it. But
do you guys have any specific events or games that you absolutely cannot go without playing this year?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I always have to get a BattleTech fix in. I always have to play at least a couple hours of BattleTech, tabletop BattleTech, just because it's nice to play with the best of the best. Those guys they live and breathe tabletop BattleTech. And if you're not familiar with tabletop BattleTech, it is what the whole MechWarrior franchise is kind of based on back in the day. It's fun. Giant stompy robots shooting each other.
Yeah, Rent, you actually introduced me to BattleTech, 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
4, I think. 4 or
4
6?
years. Yeah. No, it was 4 years ago for sure, at most. Since then, there's been a great computer game based on BattleTech and named thusly. It's on Steam. Check it out if you have not yet. It's definitely worth the money, especially to get the expansions.
Oh yeah, it is kind of the best computer version of the tabletop game that's out there. It's not Twitch based. It's not like joystick heavy. It's really tactical. So it's nice.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not exactly the same as tabletop, so don't expect it to be a carbon copy, but it's definitely a lot of fun. I think if you're familiar with BattleTech, you'll enjoy it.
Interesting.
I can't think. I'm trying to think if there's any. I'm hoping there was a Kickstarter that just ran, was the Return to Dark Tower, which, if you're not familiar with it's like the old Dark Tower game. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm hoping they actually have their prototypes there, because I want to check that out, because I couldn't afford the Kickstarter, because the Kickstarter was like stupid expensive.
Did you play Dark Tower?
I did.
When you were young?
Back in the day, I did, yes.
Oh my god.
I didn't own it, but my cousin owned it.
It was, Tay,
amazing.
Dark Tower was an amazing, it was a board game with an electronic component. It had a plastic tower that sat in the middle, and it would adjudicate combat, right? And
Yes.
It would basically, I forget the actual mechanics of running the board, but when you were in a combat situation, you would fight like hordes of monsters, and the black tower, the dark tower in the center, would tick down like the enemies, like they would like there's 100 enemies, and 50, then 25, and then you win.
Oh my god. Oh my god. But you have to survive the hordes.
Yeah, but it was interesting. Really, Drac? That's great.
So yeah, I'm hoping Restoration Games, who's the one that brought that back, is going to have that, and they're going to have events, because I wanted to check that out, because I didn't have $160 to jump in on that Kickstarter.
Wow, true story. This is going to sound super strange, but back in the day, do you guys remember the Texas Instruments 99 computer, the TI-99?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I programmed a Dark Tower simulation in it. I programmed.
No way.
Yeah, the mechanics that the Dark Tower mechanics that it would adjudicate.
Right.
I programmed into the computer, so I didn't need the Dark Tower because I couldn't afford it as a child. I had a TI 99.
That's fantastic.
But like we'd run the program to mimic what the tower would do.
That is amazing.
Oh my god, that's so funny. That just reminded me of that.
So yeah, that's kind of like the only thing I'm really event-wise, I think, until I actually see I'm sure there'll be a bunch of stuff once the catalog opens up and you can see the events that are happening. I'm sure those will be a bunch of stuff, but right now that's the only thing that I'm really kind of looking forward to checking out, which I'm hoping. I don't even know if it's going to be there or not, but I assume they'll probably have events for that.
Wow, that is a blast from the past. Certainly, that is old school gaming. I don't think anybody younger than 40, even 45 would even know that.
Probably not. No.
Oh my god.
So how about you, Tay? Are you looking forward to anything particular, event-wise, at least?
You know, I am of the school of buying a lot of generic tickets.
Yep.
You know, I feel like I find the best games when I just go grab pickup games. I buy a bunch of generic tickets and I just, probably spend $100 tops the whole con, if not less than that. Just sitting out at random games that have spots available, and sometimes the games are stinkers, sometimes they're not. But I always walk away with 2 or 3 games that I really enjoy, and I can bring home and share with family for the rest of the year. And
there you go. Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Nice.
So, and then I don't have to do a bunch of research and stress about getting that one thing that I have to do. Which, if I had to pick one, I'd say it's probably BattleTech, because I've really come to love it over the few years that I've been playing it. But yeah, generics are my thing.
All right, let's go see what is happening on the tabletop. We do have some tabletop news. This week it's all about Scooby-Doo, believe it or not. There is not one, but 2 Scooby-Doo games coming out. If you're not in the know, later on this summer there is a new Scooby-Doo movie coming out called Scoob. So Warner Brothers...
Raggy.
You do an amazing Scooby... I didn't know you did a Scooby-Doo. That is amazing. You are a man of many talents.
Well, I have a German Shepherd, so he teaches me a little bit. So, or no, is Scooby-Doo a Doberman? What is he?
Great Dane. Come on, man.
Oh, he's a Great Dane.
I'm taking your geek card away from you.
I don't know.
Exactly right.
I don't know.
Get out of here. Get off my podcast now. Come on.
All right, guys.
But yeah, like I said, there is not one, but 2 Scooby-Doo games coming out. The first one, I will admit, I might have squealed like a little schoolgirl when I got this press release about this. Avalon Hill / WotC, of course, is bringing out a game called Scooby-Doo Betrayal at Mystery Mansion. It sounds just like what you think it is. It's Betrayal at House on the Hill
with Scooby-Doo,
but it's Scooby-Doo themed.
Interesting. Ooh.
Yes. You will join Scooby and the Mystery Incorporated gang to face the ultimate betrayal. This is designed behind the same team that did the Betrayal Legacy game. Betrayal at Mystery Mansion is going to let players take on the role of Scooby-Doo, Shaggy, Velma, Daphne, and Fred as you will explore the mysterious mansion. You're going to find clues, you're going to run away or towards the scary noises, and you might even catch a sight of a monster. Or was it a ghost? Betrayal at Mystery Mansion will be available in stores everywhere starting on May 15th. That is the same day that the new Scoob movie hits theaters.
Amazing.
I've only got one thing to say to that.
Okay.
Jinkies.
Yeah, Jinkies indeed. Betrayal at Mystery Mansion is going to be jam-packed with more goodies than a super shaggy sandwich that includes all new tiles, tokens, cards. Yeah, they really did this press release well. 25 haunts based on popular Scooby-Doo episodes and movies. Once players find enough clues to learn what's really going on, the haunt will begin. And of course, one player is going to switch sides. It is going to be the monster. And then those meddling kids are going to try to step in and stop them.
And their dog, too.
That's right.
They would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids.
Yeah, so Betrayal at House on the Hill is one of my favorite games. If you haven't played that, play that game. It is so fun because you basically get to turn and screw over your friends. So it's great. I love Scooby-Doo. This when they came out with the I can't remember if it was the Betrayal. I think it was the Betrayal at Baldur's Gate set that came out a couple of years ago. I think I mentioned to my friends they really should do a Scooby-Doo one to this because it would be amazing. And oh my God, here it is.
So, it made its way. It made its way to the developers' ears, and
I guess so. Maybe I'd like to think I had a little small part of this, but not really. But yeah.
I think you did.
So everywhere in stores, May 15th, Scooby-Doo Betrayal at Mystery Mansion. Also, as I said, another Scooby-Doo game coming out. This one is from the Op. This one is called Scooby-Doo Escape from the Haunted Mansion. This is a code-revealing game. The Op is coming out with a new series of games. They are called a Coded Chronicles game. This is pretty much a escape room in a box. You are going to have 50 individual clues that are hidden in the game's interactive game board and the pieces, and it's going to help you discover what happened to Lady Fairmont's haunted mansion. Players will share 5 narrative booklets to read as everyone works together to fill in the story's missing details. Different parts are kept secret in envelopes, and you will open those as Scooby the Gang unlocks the answers, keeping everyone on the edge of their seat. This one is for 1 or more players, ages 12 and up. This one is coming spring 2020, so I would assume probably a little after the movie's out. Maybe they didn't give a specific date. So we have the Betrayal Scooby Gang and the Escape Room Scooby Game all coming out. So if you're into Scooby-Doo and you like tabletop games, your two worlds are about to collide.
Wow! So, in the Betrayal game, there's got to be a scene where you're running down the hall and everyone's running in one door and coming out the other side of the hallway.
Oh, God, there better be.
I need to see that scene.
There better be.
I have to play it out. I have to play it out.
There better be.
If there isn't, you're going to have to flip the table. Just
Exactly.
This
game sucks.
It's like a mic drop and walk off.
rage quit the board game.
This game sucks. What kind of Scooby-Doo game is this? There's no running into different rooms chasing each other.
Oh,
great.
So in current event, in this era of COVID-19 novel coronavirus, has anybody played Pandemic recently?
Only the Legacy Edition, thank you.
Yeah, that's all I have. How about you, Drac? Have you played Pandemic?
I have not played Pandemic in years.
Yeah, I mean it's such a great game, but it's not something you can play by yourself, which is sad because like kids are either too young for board games or too old for board games. Well, you can never be too old, but they're too cool for board games. Let's put it that way. So yeah, it's I dusted off the box, and I'm looking for some of my geezer geek friends to maybe play a game or two. Never won. It's always been beaten by Pandemic.
Every time. I don't think I've won none times. None.
None times. Yeah, like I said, I haven't played. God, it's been forever since I played, and I don't think I've ever won it either. Actually, when I played it.
Yeah, for those of you guys who are not familiar with Pandemic is a board game made by Z-Man Games. It's a cooperative board game. So basically, you and the other players are working together as best you can cooperatively to prevent a pandemic from killing the world. So fun, but it is sort of time or turn based. So you got to get your crap together and clear out the pandemic before it spreads to uncontainable levels. So let that be a lesson to the CDC.
Come on, WHO, you can do it.
Is it a little bit weird to play that now, though, with what's going on? I mean, you know what I mean? Is it a little too close to home, maybe? I don't know.
A little gallows humor.
Maybe, I don't know, because, China, like, we don't have it, like, bad here. Like, this thing started in China. Of course, everybody knows the news. The whole coronavirus thing started in China. And for a while, China was, like, shut down. Like lockdown. Like interesting thing, I didn't even think about it. There was a couple games that I kickstarted, and I got some updates on those games. They said their production stopped. There's a lot of Kickstarters that are now behind because of the whole coronavirus thing, because they shut down China. They just closed everything down. Like the Chinese government said, you're not working, you're not leaving your house. It's done. Yep. I guess now I just got an update today on the Evil Dead 2 board game, and they said that production just started back up on that. That factory just opened.
Yeah, see, that's when you know you're a true gamer, is when you get your your worldly news
Right.
from your game
Through Kickstarter news, that's right. Through Kickstarter updates.
Oh,
yes.
my board game's being manufactured again. China must be up and running.
It's like, the coronavirus is not that bad in China anymore. That's great. Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, I don't know. That brings up a good point, though. Could you like play it and not think about?
No, you're totally thinking like.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to be thinking about the whole what's going on, current events while you're playing
absolutely.
Pandemic.
Especially when you see this stuff jump from country to, I mean, playing the game, you see this stuff jumping around, and it's like, well, I can't contain it anymore. It's gotten out.
Right.
It's kind of scary. I mean,
Despite
Japan,
all your efforts, I mean, it's always gonna have that one stray patient zero that gets out and affects everyone else.
Japan has just shut down all their elementary schools for a month. They're not reopening until March. So that's crazy.
That is.
And
crazy.
the U.S. just had their first case of someone contracting it without being in contact with any known travelers to China.
Yeah, right. Or no known patient zero to contract it from. So that should be interesting.
Right.
So yeah, pandemic, super scary.
So if you want to play current events,
stay calm.
There you go. Sorry. Stay calm and play Pandemic.
Use your hand sanitizer and wear face masks. And if you feel sick, don't go to work and don't send your kids to school. And maybe you'll make it to Gen Con.
There you go. Oh man. So how was your week in gaming, Drac?
Oh my God, I didn't do a lot this week. Like I said, I had one of my weird weeks. Every once in a while, I have like weeks that just everything goes to hell, and just all life just gets in the way, and I don't really do hardly anything but just life and adulting and all of the boring, crappy stuff that nobody likes. And that was pretty much one of these weeks. I did play a little bit of DDO, and that was with Saba over on Argo. We were continuing my quest to 28/30, whichever the case may be. We did the Dolaris Tomb Epic. That was really fun. I really enjoyed that. I liked the Dolaris Tomb quest chain anyway, and it was fun to see it Epic and to see the little bit of changes they made. There was a couple little tweaks they did to it, which I kind of liked. I did get the Epic voice, so I'm happy about that.
Nice. And it's a whatchamacallit? It is an artifact. It's a bite artifact.
It is, yeah. That I was excited to see that too. But yeah, and I was really excited to get the voice because my Wolflock, which is the character that I'm running this on, that character was actually created just to play with the damsels. So I did like an iconic. So I never had a voice.
Oh, right, because you completely bypassed
it. Right, I just bypassed all that because I just did a iconic, and then I just skipped the whole iconic level and just did the druid and the wolflock to get the the druid and the warlock.
I feel like Dolaris is such an iconic.
It is.
Quest in DDO.
It is, and that's something I probably should have went back and just did, even though it over leveled just to get the voice, but I never did. Yeah. So I was excited that I actually have a voice now. So
yeah, and they scaled it nicely. I really think they scaled it nicely for Epic. It's fun.
It wasn't overdone, and it was still absolutely.
Yeah, and it was
overdone. It wasn't underdone. It was just perfect. It's just Dolaris.
Yeah, and I think the challenge seemed. I mean, okay. I mean, we were a little bit under level for it, and we didn't have any problems at all. I mean, there was a couple places where it got a little dicey just because like a pull went bad, but overall, it was fun. I enjoyed it. We're gonna do the catacombs next. I haven't seen what they did to that, so I'm excited to see that.
You'll be surprised.
Yeah. Have you done the catacombs, Ren?
I did. I'll talk about it when I get to my week.
Okay.
So yeah, that was really it. DDO. I did play a little bit of video games. Played some more of Red Dead Redemption 2. My God, that game is so much fun. I love that game.
Do you play that on the PC or is that?
No, I'm playing on the Xbox One.
Nice. Okay.
That's why I played that. On the PC side of gaming, though, I did play a game. I can't talk about it yet, though.
Ooh.
It's still.
Can you hint?
No.
That's an NDA, buddy.
Yeah, it's it's under NDA embargo, so I can't even hint about it. But
that's cool, though. Oh, interesting.
I'm
Soon,
excited to hear about it.
Soon I can talk about it. A couple weeks yet, I think. I'll have to check to see when that lives, but Exciting. So that was pretty much my week. As I said, real life just got in the way again. Real life.
The worst.
So Rent, what about you?
Well, since Tay had hit 30 without me.
Wow.
Right. So on my 29 level character over on Wayfinder, I was trying to do some solo epic stuff. So I went through and did Catacombs on Epic, and it was neat. I did Catacombs on Epic Elite, but which was not hard at all, being 29. But it was interesting. They did redo some things. It's not a complete sort of scaling. They rearrange stuff, and I think they may have done that for the heroic version as well. Some of the way it's set up, you don't have to go down like 8 floors anymore.
Oh, thank God!
Oh,
yes.
Goodness, that was the worst part about that.
Thank God!
I hated that.
I think they put the last 3 quests on the bottom floor and the 3 quests above that on a floor above it.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Right. So there are multiple quests. Right. So now there's multiple quests on a floor versus having to go down a different floor for a different quest. So it's a little nicer that way. You don't have so much running to do between quests. So yeah, besides that, I mean, it's essentially the same Catacombs, but just a couple graphical tweaks, I guess, or map tweaks, and yeah. Other than that, Tay and I think we did Epic Delaras, right? And hardcore servers back up. So I know hardcore is a sore subject, not for everybody.
I am rolling my eyes so hard.
I know.
They're actually stuck. Can you guys help? I can't see anything but the back of my skull.
But if anybody's ever gamed with me, they know I'm a complete masochist. I like it when it's painful. So I like self-torture. So hardcore.
What does that say about you, Rent? What does that
really
say about
does. Exactly right. So I'm playing hardcore. You know, I'm going through basically. I'm trying to do it all. I'm trying to get all the favor, all the quests, all the completion. So I'm doing everything on Elite first time around from level 1. So, but I'm not skipping anything, and I'm not leveling past anything. The only problem is
you're not skipping anything. Not even like the ones with the bad traps in them.
No, I'm not skipping them. I'm just getting trapper hirelings and just. But when you're doing it on Elite at level, it's still dicey. So the hirelings, if you get over level hirelings, it's not so bad. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm only level 4 now, so I don't know how long that'll last. You can check.
I think you guys know my thoughts and my feelings.
Like you're not gonna waste your damn time.
It's not that I don't like hardcore. I actually think it's a really cool idea, and I had fun with it the first time around. But I feel like there need to be a few tweaks. I don't think that death should instantly put you in that unlockable state of death.
That's the whole point of the server. It's permadeath, man.
Hear me out.
Okay. Make me understand your point of view, because I think you're nuts.
I think anybody who plays hardcore is nuts, but I don't knock it. What I would like to see is that a cleric or favored soul, anybody who has the ability to raise people, is able to do so in a quest.
No,
I would also like to see no hirelings allowed as a trade-off.
No.
As a trade-off.
No.
See, it's not such a crazy idea. It still sounds hardcore, doesn't it? It still sounds pretty hardcore.
If you can get raised, there's a level of carelessness and a level of
exactly, because then you don't give a crap. You're like, oh, I can just get a raise, so it's fine.
Just get a raise. I can find my way.
But not if you don't have a cleric in your party. It requires clerics then.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not feeling it, man. I like the once and done, But
I know. No, not many people agree with my take on it, but that's my feelings.
But regardless, though, even if I die, I get an extra character slot on another server.
Yeah,
I get to port it over. And honestly, I like one of the things I like about hardcore is I like to kind of play around with a build, just experiment with a build to see if it's viable. And nothing proves viability more than trying to do something on hardcore.
That's
and if
true.
you can
that's a very good idea.
Yeah, and like I said, if it dies, then it dies. But at least I can port it over and work out the kinks on another server. It's not completely wasted. It's essentially an experiment.
That's true. So that's a good segue to one thing I wanted to bring up, and that's that now that I've hit level 30, as Rent has mentioned, I've had an itch to try another build similar to the wizard that I'm already playing. I want to go for an Eldritch Knight, an 8 or what is it, 20 level 28 Eldritch Knight with 2 levels of Artie.
Okay.
What do the levels of Artie get you?
The rune arm and the plinking and the plinking ability with the heavy crossbow.
Right.
I think I know you had mentioned going the Inquisitor tree, and I don't have that unlocked. I know. I'm one of the few people.
That's been nerfed now anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah. See. Yeah. So no big deal.
I kid. I'm sure I'm gonna get hate mail on that.
But yeah, I want to be able to do all the things. I want to be able to cast. I want to be able to cast awesome spells, everything but level 9, of course, spells. I want to be able to wear armor, light armor, and you can overcome the arcane spell failure from that through combination of feats and enhancements and augments and whatnot items. I want to be able to plink. I just want to be able to, I want to do traps. I want to be able to do all the things, and I feel like that's the best way to do it. So if anybody that's listening, or if you gentlemen have any feedback or thoughts or suggestions on how to approach that, I've never taken a foray into it, so I'll just be going in blind and figuring it all out myself.
It's a funny way to pronounce Bartificer.
Yeah, I ain't no swashbuckler, buddy.
I love Bartificer.
Wow.
I don't want to be a melee type. That's not the intent. I think that's the biggest difference.
You don't.
I don't want to go melee. I want to plink and use.
But you want to wear armor.
But I want to wear some light armor. Yeah.
Gross.
Isn't it a weird concept? That's one of my things with DDO is I like
That's
to
a little weird, but yeah.
pick on one odd like mechanic of the game and just see if I can just exploit it to its greatest extent, and to see if it turns out to be anything good.
Interesting. You know what? I should look into like whatchamacallit, a rogue swashbuckler, just to see how that works.
That'd be interesting with the evasion.
Yeah, a swashbuckling rogue. Well, I mean, yeah, interesting. Well, maybe you know what? You experiment with your Eldritch Wizard Artificer. I'll experiment with the wizard or the rogue Artificer.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you've convinced me to try hardcore again.
So, like, are these builds coming to our Wayfinder group soon? I'm sensing. Maybe?
I'm thinking about it. I mean, I think maybe I'll try them out on the hardcore server first, and then if they take, I'll re-roll it to get my 32-point build on Wayfinder.
Well, maybe if you do that, I might come up with some like experimental build to play on Wayfinder too, and
that would be cool.
Yeah, we'll just all do like weird experimental builds. That
right, just for funsies. Yeah, just worst case scenario, it ends up being a non-viable. It's not
total
viable, no big deal.
Right. Right.
But that's the beauty of DDO, I think, is just the flexibility of just trying to do different things. There's so many combinations you can try to, synergistically cobble together.
Have either of you tried the Alchemist yet?
No, I have not. I want to.
Ooh, I should look into that.
I was reading on it, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. I think in order to play it, if I'm understanding it correctly, and anybody can comment or whatever, once I listen to this. But if I'm not mistaken, you have to like constantly be aware of what potions that you're mixing together and like what stance, or I don't know what you call it. Stance.
Yeah, because you have to know like what two are going to mix to get the result that you want. Yeah, so it's
so you have to constantly be aware of that.
Yeah,
it's like being a cleric and have to be constantly aware of everyone's HP bars.
It's not an easy class to play, I don't think, but I've watched a couple of videos of people playing it, and it looks super fun.
Interesting.
I mean, because you're basically just chucking potions at people, and then you're and then each thing adds, and then you get a different color, and you get a lot of memorization, I think, though.
Is it like a paint rave?
If you wanted to be sure.
Okay, millennial.
Okay, boomer.
There it is.
I'm not gonna lie. I have been to a paint rave in my life. It was a lot of fun.
Of course you have.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I was like 19 and I snuck in on a fake ID.
Of course you did.
It was a lot of fun.
Oh,
that's
my God.
All right, so where are we at?
You're still in your week.
Oh, I think
if you did anything else.
I think that was it. I mean, Epic Catacombs, and Tay and I have been playing pen and paper fantasy grounds with the Geezer Geeks. These are pen and paper guys I've been playing with since the mid '80s.
Oh, so nice.
That's how old I am. But yeah, we've been playing pen and paper since the mid '80s, and these boomers, they've just discovered Fantasy Grounds. So we're all kind of like, how do you do this on Fantasy Grounds? So. We're getting there. But it's funny. Tate fit right in. He's getting along with the Geezer Geeks all right.
Well, I played with Lid Boy. I saw him at Gen Con this last year. We shared a room together. We game together, so we're already familiar. We share a common interest of playing Civilization 5, Sid Meier's Civ 5. There's any fans out there, I would love to exchange information and maybe get a bigger group going. I am a Civ 5 junkie. I won't even go into it.
Every time I see you on Steam, it's like, oh, look, Tay's playing Civ 5 again. Shocked.
I don't even know if I want to say how many thousands of hours I have in that game. Thousands.
I can't imagine at this point.
It's a little bit disgusting. I'm a little disgusted myself, but it is what it is.
What else did you do this week besides Civ 5?
Well, as you know, and Drac, as you know as well, we're running a new. We do this every now and then with the damsels, as we coordinate a shared Minecraft server. Yes, Minecraft, folks, Minecraft. And we just let our creative colors fly, much like Rinse Frat Boy Heels, and we just kind of go ham and build like there's no tomorrow. I'll be building a mega church. I will be the patron of the Noodly Pastafarian religion, and
we like some behind the scenes baseball, as it were. We have this like text thread. And one night, my phone just starts blowing up. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I'm scrolling through all these texts. And all of a sudden I hear, okay, we're going to start this Minecraft server, blah, 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 blah. Then all of a sudden, Tay starts spewing on about this, like, the aspects of the spaghetti. And I'm like, what is happening right now? And then, of course, Lessa has to give her 2 cents. And then that just eggs Tay on more. And then I'm like, oh, my God. My phone was just like ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, oh, my God, stop.
Ramen, my noodly brother. Ramen.
I can't.
Not even. But Minecraft is kind of like the Zen gardening of video gaming. I just, I log in and just the music is so calming. And it's just, I'm just.
You can fixate on just building the most megalithic structures.
I'm just glad cutting down trees. I deforest.
Hey, Monsanto.
Yeah, exactly. Well, anyway, it's been a good week.
So, like, how far are you gonna like build into the server? How far are you gonna take this? Like, is there a set plan for it, or is it just kind of like what always happens? We just play stuff for a while, and then it's like, okay, this is boring, and then
I think that's probably what it is. I mean, we've done this a few times now, right? I mean, it's probably the third or fourth time we've done this, and we stick with it for a good probably couple months usually, right?
Yeah. I mean, most games, yeah.
And I think we get to a point, we overdevelop so much to the point where everything is kind of perfected and we don't want to touch it to screw it up. Right. And then it kind of peters out. And then it'll go another year or two before we decided to do it again.
Drac, were you involved in Minecraft with us before?
No.
I think the last thing we did was I think it was 4 of us, and we all went in 4 different cardinal directions, and we gave each other 4 weeks to build. And then at the end of the 4 weeks, we went after each other and did permadeath Minecraft.
Nice.
And the last man standing won. And it was all like
that.
I don't know. I remember I killed Saba though, so that made me happy.
Oh, I bet you're super bitter about it.
I invaded her fort, and she was not anticipating my uber bow that I crafted.
Oh, nice.
It was amazing. Yeah, you'll have to ask her about that, Drac.
I will. Next time we play, I'm going to write that down right now.
I know Saba takes a lot of pride in her hard work, and
imagine. It was very defended, but like I said, I had an uber bow that I spent like 3 of those 4 weeks crafting.
Didn't I like do something dumb and like fall into lava like immediately? Like
I think you died almost immediately. I think it
was just some stupid faux pas, and I stepped wrong, and it.
Yep. Yeah, and we couldn't bring you back because that was it. It was permadeath. You were in on that too, right? That was how you died. Yeah. It was me, you, Sab, and who? And Myth.
I think Mithri and Lessa.
I think Lessa might have won. I forget.
Of course she did.
Probably. It's Lessa.
We'll have to revisit that.
Yeah, well,
that sounds kind of amazing.
We'll just say I remember being the ref. I remember spying in on people.
Drac, you may have to participate in that because I think once things get kind of stagnant, then we wipe it and then decide to kill each other.
yeah, exactly. Nice. We just have an all-out brawl, and
Yeah.
Burn everything to the ground. It's like the card building, Cardhala?
Cardvala or Cardhala. Yeah, at the end of
Cardhala?
Gen Con when they knock down the card structures.
It's like, oh, that's neat. That's amazing, all that work they did. Smash.
Destroy King Kong.
Exactly.
We currently have 13 supporters over on our Patreon. If you'd like to help support DDO players, you can do so by going to our donations page. You can support the Players Alliance, which is our podcasting network, over on our Patreon page. There's going to be different rewards, including a mention of the podcast of your choice. You can even guest host on an episode of DDO Players News if you would like. We did not receive any iTunes reviews this week. We do love iTunes reviews. It helps us get the show out there. So if you take a second, go over to iTunes and leave us a review. We would appreciate that. Did have a feature comment this week. It is from Mock Task over on the Betrayal Meets Scooby-Doo post. Mock says, this seems like a really nice fit. Ages 8 and up will certainly be the draw, though how many 8-year-old kids won't feel deeply emotionally offended when their parent's character betrays them? Wouldn't stop me. But I'm savage with my kids when it comes to gaming.
See, that's good parenting right there. Teach them not to trust anyone.
Exactly. Trust no one.
Exactly.
I wonder. But Brent, I'm you have kids.
Yeah. Too many.
Too many.
Too many. We won't tell that to the younger ones. So how I'm sure it's happened at some point in your gaming history with your family. How was the first time ever with your daughters when you betrayed them and just stabbed them in the back mercilessly?
I have never betrayed them in a game. I
Really?
never pulled my punches, and I try to teach them to be good losers. It's still a real battle with them. They don't take losing well, but I think that's because they're my kids.
Yeah, I was gonna say they take after their dad. They're really competitive.
It's okay, but when they start flipping tables and storming out, it's really embarrassing.
Or when their hardcore players die.
Oh, painful memories. But yeah, no, it's
Wow.
I don't think I've ever really betrayed them in a game, but yeah, I've beaten them and maybe not in the most friendly manner, but yeah.
Pretty brutally nice.
Yeah, it is a lesson everybody's got to learn.
We didn't receive any emails this week, but if you'd like to email into the show, you can do so at podcast@ddoplayers.com. Follow us over on Twitter, Players Alliance, at Players Ally, at DDO Players, at DDO Players. Follow me, Drac, at Dracula_72. You can follow Pineleaf at Pineleaf Needles. You can also follow me over on Twitch if you would like. Twitch.tv/Dracula_72 for that as well. You can follow our guest Rent over on Twitter at
Rent.pwn,
and
I believe.
Tay's too cool for Twitter. Apparently, he doesn't have a Twitter.
Too cool for school, man. Only millennial who doesn't social media.
That's what I was about to say. They're going to kick you out of the millennial club, aren't they? Since you don't social media.
They can't kick me out of a club that I'm not in, man. Can't do it. Can't do it, man.
That's a deep thought right there.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to join us for our live shows, you can do so over on our website. That's ddoplayers.com/live. We do have 2 live shows every week. Normally Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern is this year's show, DDO Players News. Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern is Lotro Players News. And once again, you can get to those at ddoplayers.com/live. That's it for this week. Thank you guys for joining me. Anything else you want to say before we get the heck out of here?
Oh, thanks for having us. It's absolutely a pleasure every time. Thank you.
Yes,
you.
Always love it. Always appreciate it. Always have great conversations. And
we do.
Love poking at my friends.
Yeah, it's fun, and it's cool because I always think about every time we're playing together. I'm thinking I got to get you guys back on the podcast, and then I never think about asking you about it and it just kind of happened this week, and I'm like, ooh, I bet I could get them to for this show.
Well, that's kind of the fun of it, just a surprise invite. I love it.
Heck yeah. So thank you, everybody, for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show. We will see you next week, hopefully at a normal time. Hopefully my week is a little better. So until next week, this is Drac leaving you with this, and I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids. Good night, everybody.